Greetings there, my fellow metallurgists. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to The Last Plague Blight, Episode 3, Basic Metalworking. So if you want to drive predators away, hitting them with spears or stones thrown when they don't spot you will have them run away. Once they spot you, attacking them, they'll just continue to mess with you. So if you really want to keep them away, you can just huck, spear chuck at them and keep them at bay that way. With that said, all except for the grizzly bears are afraid of fire. So if they came really close to my camp, they would get close to me, but they would never, if I was standing next to my fire, they would never attack me, because being next to my fire means that they get close to the fire and then they flee. So as long as you're near an active fire, in a fire pit, you're fine. So I don't have a tannery, so I'm going to put the hides away, because I don't have a way to process them. I am going to put the cooked coyote meat away as well, because I don't need to be holding on to it. Charcoal's going in here. The sausage is going in there. The spare flint is going in there. The animal fats. Ginseng and ginseng roots. Small stones, I can start a stockpile. Anything that you can do in stockpiles, do in stockpiles, just save you room. Okay, so we're going to collect some mud for a mud brick kiln. So mud, when it rains, all dirt turns to mud, but if it's not raining, you can find mud at the banks of rivers and lakes. So we are making a mud brick kiln, and I'm going to need a bunch of mud bricks in order to do that. So if we take a look here at structures, at kilns, a mud brick kiln requires 20 mud bricks. I have 2 mud bricks, so we'll collect a whole bunch more mud bricks for the kiln. And you can hold left control in order to find mud. Can you swim underwater? Nope. You could drown, though. You can also see that I'm, deforming the terrain here. There's now, a little hole where the lake was. So I tend to collect my mud and stuff. Clay is a bit different. You don't deform the terrain with clay. But for mud, sand, and dirt, you do. So if you don't want to be messing with the terrain where you live, collect your mud, not in your own backyard. Okay, I have way more mud for mud bricks than I need. Minor spoiler, not a big one. The only thing that requires mud bricks is the mud brick kiln. Once you have the mud brick kiln, you will not require mud bricks again. So don't make more than you need, because there's no purpose. And I am going to place my mud brick kiln here. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to plan out where my base is going to be and locate everything. Actually, mud brick kiln I'll probably get rid of. So I'll put it under the roof over here. So I need 12 more mud bricks. Can you get rid of the stumps? You can. I did mention this before, but don't get rid of all of them. I don't want to say why. It's a spoiler, but don't cut up all your stumps around your base. You'll regret it. So leave one at least. Just trust me. Alright, so the rest of this mud I'm going to start a stockpile for. Boink. And now we have a mud brick kiln. So, the next step is to make a clay bowl and harden it in the mud brick kiln. So let's collect some clay. I spotted clay on this peninsula. Yeah, right here. So clay is weird in that it is a surface material that you collect, but you don't dig for. So as you can see here, I'm just skimming the surface for clay, and then the clay is exhausted, and you can't just continue digging for it. So exploring for clay is like something you're going to have to do a lot of if you want to build a lot of clay stuff, like clay bricks for kilns or clay tiles for roof tiles, things like that. Because you don't get a lot of clay like you do dirt and mud and sand. Dirt, mud, and sand, you find it by the bucket loads, because the whole world is dirt, mud, and sand. But there's not a lot of clay here. So I only have a little bit of clay. So if I want to build more with clay, I'm going to have to go elsewhere. And it wants me to sculpt a clay bowl and harden it. So here's a soft clay bowl. And you can also see the other things that I can make with clay. An axe mold, a candle mold, a crucible, an ingot mold, a clay jar. Clay jars are really, really good. Clay jugs, also really good. Knife mold, pot, nails, a clay resource pan, roof tiles, saw blade, watering jug, and then mortar. Mortars for, like, building. If I'm firing up a clay bowl, I want to take advantage of the... I don't want to fire up the kiln just for that, so I'm also going to make some clay bricks. So that the kiln has more to fire. And then the rest of this clay, I'm going to start a little stockpile. So this requires wood fuel, tinder, kindling. Oops, I didn't mean to take all of them. Let's take... stack. An hour? That's probably longer than it needs, so 48 minutes. There we go. Firing it up. And then it brings it up to temperature and slowly fires the clay that I put in there. Cool. I think... thinking out loud here. I think so the order of operations to make, like, a nice shelter, I'm gonna want a shovel. So, in the tools here, a shovel requires long planks and short planks, which requires a saw, and requires bronze or iron nails. Iron nails you can often find in cabins, but I'm gonna need a saw. So, what I want to do is I also want to prepare to make a bronze handsaw. But I think this is a little beyond the scope of my current priority. But if you want me to continue working towards making tools, you can vote for it. So I'm putting up the poll again. And what that would entail would be to build a full clay brick kiln so that I can fire... and then also building a... where is it? And then building a bloomery, or rather a crucible furnace. So the bloomery is for iron, and the crucible furnace is for copper and bronze. So if I want to start making metal stuff, metal tools, metal nails, things like that, I would need a crucible furnace, which requires 15 clay bricks, and I've fired, what, 5 of them so far? So I'm a third of the way to making a crucible kiln. I don't have a crucible itself, but, you know, one could work on that. So taking a look at, writing on the wall here, I am going to make a crucible and crucible kiln. Or, is it called a kiln? Furnace. I'll just wrap that up early. Checking the active snares. Nope, they're empty. Okay, I'm gonna go traveling... Where's my compass? I'm traveling west along the riverbank, up the river. So I can see clay right there, and clay here. So it should be pretty easy to collect the clay that I need, because there's a whole bunch of clay right here. Riverbank sounds like a country song. Oh, I'll add twang if you want me to. I'm just kidding. I won't. Oh yeah, there's a lot of clay. There's clay here, there's clay there, there's clay here, there. I hit the clay mother load. Depending on how easy and plentiful clay is where I am, I could also consider... So I was originally planning on having like a cheap shelter, but if there's like just tons of clay around me, I could even opt to get like clay tile roof to make a fancier shelter. I just didn't want to spend a ton of time collecting clay, but oh my god, this riverbank is all clay. Yeah. Wow. That's just... wow. That's a lot of clay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'm not going to have any issue with that. This is a nice map, Jen. It is. It really is. So here's my clay bricks. And we are going to turn these into a crucible furnace. I'll just put the crucible furnace right here. Eventually I can move it. You can always break down stuff and move things around. So I need 10 more clay bricks. 5, 10. And then I'm also going to want a clay crucible. And I am going to want nails mold. So the rest of this clay, I will stick into the stockpile. Like. And let's fire this up again. Fire pit went out. That's okay. I don't need a fire until nighttime. Where's my twigs? Here they are. I should also make a sawmold, shouldn't I? You are right about that. Let's make a sawmold too. I think I need, what, 600 for that? $400. Alright, so this is the stuff that I need to fire. For now... I don't want my inventory full of this stuff. I'll put it away. So in terms of my journal, it is saying that it wants me to collect copper and tin and finish building the crucible furnace. So find copper and tin. Alright. The best way to do this is to figure out where I am on the map, right here. And copper and tin, I could go north, past Cardine, or east. I think I'm going to go north, because that looks like a bigger outcropping of potential metals. I know I have unfired clay bowls and the like on me. Actually, this clay bowl's fired. I could have dumped the bricks, but I'm not too worried about the carry weight. Okay, there are coyotes ahead. So this road is this one that runs east-west. I'm not going to be following the road necessarily. I don't really need it with my compass and the map. So copper is like a greenish-hued rock, and tin honestly looks like every other rock. There's also limestone and sandstone. So sandstone is used to make a grinding wheel to be able to repair your tools, and limestone is used to make quicklime in order to build stonework stuff. I can't mine that right now anyway, because I don't have a mining pick. So I'm just looking for copper and tin on the ground. And I'm looking mostly for that green hue, because you need a lot more copper than you need tin to make bronze. But I'm heading towards the rocky outcropping. Here. So I should see... The forest kind of runs north-south. So it's going to be along on my right. And the cities are like completely... You'll see buildings in the cities, but they're completely blighted up to hell. So you can't enter them even a little bit. I might want to fashion myself a spear, though, in case I happen upon a critter that I need to thwart. So I'm hitting a river, and this must be the Cardine River here that I'll need to cross. So Cardine, or whatever it's called, is over here this way. I can see if the bridge at Cardine is usable, but it's probably covered in blight, I'd imagine. I should have topped up my my water. Oh yeah, there's the bridge. So here's the town, and there's the bridge, and yeah, it's completely like, no way. I'm not using it. That looks like death. No thank you. I will get a little wet instead. I'm going to put my tools in my backpack to try to keep them dry if possible. And maybe to try to find the narrowest part of the river. Because the longer you are in the river, the more wet you get. But yeah, that's the neighboring town. And it looks bad. Nope, I got wet. Well, at some point I might want to build rafts to ford the river to keep dry. But I'm not too worried about that now. So now I'm roughly here, heading into the rocky outcrop area, which is just ahead. Yoink. Got me some garlic. God, I love garlic. Blueberries do fill up your hydration a little bit, so you can eat them for hydration. Also go pick up some ginseng. But it looks like there's some potential copper spots just ahead. as the terrain gets rockier. There are also caves, procedurally generated caves, and finding caves, if I find a cave, I want to mark that on my map. I'll put it that way. And caves are usually generated along the, like, cliff rifts, whatever you want to call these. Oh, here's some tin. So I got myself some tin. And it wants me to collect 10 pieces of tin. So these larger pieces of tin can be broken down into smaller pieces. It's 10... One of these chunks is 10 small pieces. So I have 26 small tin already. And there's more tin. There's more cassiterite and tin over here too. This hill rift. So I'm going a little west. I'm going this way. This looks very promising for both caves and for copper. But I already pretty much have all the tin I need, at least for now. Oh, is that a cave? That's a cave! Yeah! Alright, I'm going to try to mark this down. I would say I'm roughly here. And there are copper pieces right outside the cave. With a copper-rich rock. Of course, I don't have a pick, so I can't actually mine it. But I can sure collect all the stuff around it. Maybe. Come on. Come on. Come on, big man. Get it. Sweet. Alright, that's a coyote over there. Noted. Let's go into the caves. So, iron-rich rock. Another iron-rich rock. And a third iron-rich rock. With a bunch of dried bones. Mushrooms. Stones. Oh, some iron ore. I can just pick it up. More iron. So this is a pretty iron-rich cave. Oh, more iron and iron ore. Man, when I enter the Iron Age, I'm gonna be rolling in it with this cave. To the point where I don't really have room for, like, stuff. It's fine. Yeah, this is a big cave. This is a dried human skull. And it's hard to tell, but this is water. Like... So, be careful. You can definitely get dunked in water. It's not so good to go into water. Not when you don't mean to. Haven't found any copper-rich rocks in this cave yet. But this cave is like maybe half explored, so there's still hope. More skulls? Goodness. God, more skulls? What happened in here? I don't want to know. So here's cassiterite. So there should be tin around it. One thing to note is, like, the highlighting of loot doesn't work in caves. So you have to, like, mouse over stuff to try to figure out if there's things there. Could there be bear in this cave? Not likely, no. Wow, this cave just keeps going. But there's, like, no copper in this cave at all. Just a bunch of iron. I don't have space for it. Let me make space. Truthfully, I don't really need to be collecting iron right now, because I have no way to use it. So, I'm just collecting it for later, but it is filling up my inventory pretty good. And that's water down there. Okay, so this cave had no copper, but it has an enormous supply of iron. So, you know, whatever. Lucas, thank you for the resub. Free up room, I can put weapons on my belt. The reason they were on my person is to try to keep them dry, but I don't need to be doing that right now. So, let's look for a little bit more copper before heading back. Yeah, I didn't really need a torch in there. I mean, it was dark, but it wasn't like so dark I couldn't traverse. So usually running along the cliff edges will get you material. I ran this way because the other way had coyotes, but I think I'm gonna have to turn back and... oh, here's a coyote right there. Or maybe... yeah, it's a coyote. Wolves are a lot bigger in this game. Did we mark the cave on the map? We did. Well, sort of. I mean, I'm not exactly sure where it is, because of course I can only estimate. But I'll be able to find my way back here, no problem. Famous last words. I am surprised I haven't found more copper-rich rocks. They're really not uncommon. But, you know, procedurally generated map and all, you can just get unlucky. So, I am probably here now, in this forest. So I'm going to go north to the rocky outcroppings, rather than to go deeper into the forest, because it's not likely I'm going to find copper deeper into the forest. But yeah, I'm standing about right here, if I was to guess. So the cave actually might be more here. Yeah, that's close enough. I'll be able to find it. Come on, green rocks. Where be thou? My stamina's low. My water's low. I need to turn back to camp. And I want more copper. How many copper do I have? So I've got 17 small pieces and 1, so I have 27 pieces of copper. I mean, that's enough to potentially make nails. I don't think it's enough to make a saw, though. So I'd like to collect for a saw and nails, so I can make a saw and a shovel. That will allow me to start building in earnest. Oh, this terrain looks very hopeful for copper. The more rugged and rocky it is, the better it is. So I'm probably around here now. Milk thistle's a pretty good source of food early game. Milk thistle seeds. I don't see any green rocks on the horizon. The journal says 17 out of 60. Yeah, but I have a copper ore that breaks down to 10 copper, so I have 27 out of 60. I did the math. Journal's wrong, man. Oh my god. Copper, what the hell? I'm gonna go east, kind of out of this forest, because I'll have better visibility to try to find the green rocks. I definitely haven't had problems like this in my, like, playtesting of this game. I mean, I wouldn't say this is a problem, right? Like, oh, cheers! Walked right into that coyote. It only bit me once and then wandered off. That's nice. I sprinted so much that I, like, ran out of stamina, so I really wasn't in a position to fight. So I'm glad it kind of just left me alone after nibbling my butt. I must not have a tasty butt. Imagine all the copper that spawned in the deep blight. Yeah, right? That's probably what it is. But yeah, for the map generation I'm used to, copper usually spawns like along the ridge lines of hills like this. So you just gotta walk the ridge lines long enough. Oh, there's a green rock right ahead. 2 of them. So we have enough copper now. Forging both of these, it'll be plenty, I think. So I've got 1, 2, 3 ore. So, oh god. Maybe don't count my copper until I'm safe. Is that another green rock? No, just the light hitting it weird. So I've got 63 pieces of copper, which is enough, according to the journal. But I want a little bit more if I'm all the way up here. I know I'm going to be losing sunlight soon, but I'll turn back soon to go back to camp. Hey, Crimson! I'm dying to play here while not fighting heretics? I know, right? Dark Tide's calling. The Dark Tide of Plague. So I'm just going to walk the rest of this ridgeline and then turn back towards camp. So I'm pretty far away from camp now. You don't want to be out in the dark, dying of thirst. So I'll just kind of swoop and arc my way back so that I have a increased chance of like running into new nodes. And if you're wondering if hydration is worrying you, it's all I'd need to do is get 10 small stones and to start a mini campfire. I already have a clay bowl on me, which makes it really easy to boil water. So I'm not worried about my low hydration. It'll be resolved. I like these peaks. They're pretty cool. Ouch. Fall damage. I'm not 100% certain where I am on the map right now. Is this the cave that I found earlier? I think it is, right? The Cave of Many Skulls? Or is this a new cave? Yep, there's a new cave, because it intersects differently. Wow, there's a lot of iron in here, too. Where might this be? I'm gonna guess... I'm not certain where I am. I don't have room for any of this iron ore. Oh my god, there's so much iron. It has copper at the door? Yeah. Let me see if there's any copper inside. Oh yeah, there's some copper inside. But it doesn't... Oh, yeah, there we go. 1 loose ore. And that's all water. Oh, I don't think... Yeah, cave water can't be collected. I don't know why not, but it can't. So the trouble is, I'm not 100% sure where I am. I'm pretty sure I know how to get back, because I'm somewhere here, and all I have to do is run south until I hit a river, and then I'll know where I am. It also has Realgar deposits, which require a pickaxe to harvest, but that'll be useful later on. So I don't see any more copper in here, but I don't want to spend too much time searching around, because I do want to get back to camp. But, well, let's try to figure out where I am on the map. So I don't see any forests. So I'm going to start heading south. I'm going to head straight south from here. And then once I hit something that's recognizable, I'll know that the cave is just due north. The cave's right here. And I'll head straight south. And this way I can try to mark down this cave too. The amount of iron in both of the caves that I found is like just a ton. All right, I need to stop sprinting in case I run into predators. So it looks like it gets a little bit more wooded to the west. I'm gonna guess this cave is like roughly here. But I can update and correct that prediction once I have more information. So I'm running straight south from the cave still. And if I hit like a point... Cowdy. If I hit a point of interest... or hit something that's recognizable, I'll know that it's just due north. Is this the other cave? I think this is the first cave I found, right? So it's just north of the first cave. If I'm not mistaken. Or is this a totally new cave? Am I just like... Cavedar? No, this is a new cave. Oh, damn. I am good at this. I'm gonna very briefly skim it. Whoa, this is, never mind. I am definitely never searching this cave. If I drop down there, I'm done. I'm never getting out. I think. I mean, I could save and load to experiment, but that doesn't look like I could climb out. So this cave was just directly south of the last one. Thank you for tuning in to The Last Plague Blight, which will really stream live on Twitch October 19th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that I'm trying to avoid spoilers to not ruin this game for others. So if you could avoid spoilers, that would be great. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Blight survivors.